This conference will now be recorded.
Good to have you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's mayor and council meeting. Would everyone please rise for the pledge and invocation?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our dear God and Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight. Thank you for all the many blessings that you have bestowed on us. Lord, we again pray for peace throughout not only their country, but throughout the world. Please be with the people that's lost loved ones this past weekend due to shootings, all unnecessary. Lord, as we go into the meeting tonight, please guide us to make the right decisions for the town of Boonesborough and the town residents. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Here, looks like all the council's present tonight. Review and approval of the meeting minutes, draft minutes for our regular meeting on January the 8th and our workshop meeting on January 29th. Council, have you all had a chance to review them, and is there any corrections?
I gave Kim 2 small typos right now. I will make a motion to approve the minutes with the 2 minor corrections.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as corrected. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Abstained. Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
Okay, so at the end of January, the general fund has a balance of $2,866,000. Yeah, I'm going to put my eye exam. Okay, $847,847.57. There we go. The water bill at the end of January an ending balance of $835,582.97. And the sewer fund had an ending balance of $159,342.78. The town has a ending balance of CDs between Fulton, Middletown Valley, and Wells Fargo of $2,282,859.36. And I will let you know that I did reach out to the banks because the 2 CDs at Fulton, they were coming up for renewal. I did get them renewed, but it was after when Brian was doing this. But the new rates are not as much. I was able to get it 3.8. I shopped around to all the local banks, and that is the best value we can get at the moment. So next month we'll have that report updated. And I did lock them in for a year. Other funds, the restricted funds, the money market at Middletown Valley Bank is holding a balance of $2,586,401.56. The American Rescue Plan Act's monies at Middletown Valley Bank is holding a balance of $2,387,092.06. The water fund user fees money market account has a balance of $187,588.28, and the sewer fund has a user fee balance of $101,760.26. Those are all of our current funds at the moment.
I have a question. There's a note here that says waiting for audited financials to update these numbers further.
For the restricted funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already have a in 2023 audited financial, but that was going to be the next question. We want to true these up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If we use any of our help to true them up, so if we could just put them on to do list.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do I have a motion to accept treasurer's report?
I'll make that motion.
How about second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussions? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Okay, before we go on, I do want to talk about the funding for the Balloon Press. If that's okay if we do that now?
Yeah.
Okay. Our Balloon Press project is moving and they are on schedule. We're still scheduled to have the project finished sometime in March, which is good news. Right now, we are lagging behind with the funds that we are trying to get reimbursement on. We have 2 bills to date that we need to pay. After talking with Jared, Eric, and Brian and myself in the office today, we looked at the current balance of our sewer fund. We also took into account what's coming due for our water bond principal, so that we don't run short, and then just general operating funds for that month to get us through. The recommendation is right now, so that we can pay these bills, keep everything solvent in the sewer fund, is to transfer $500,000 from the general fund to the sewer fund. All of those funds will be reimbursed back to the general fund as these other reimbursement monies come in. So.
A lot.
Yes, very short term. No more than 60 days, we're thinking. So if somebody would make a motion, we can do that and approve that.
I will make a motion that the general fund loan the sewer fund needed $500,000.
Up to 60 days. Okay. All right.
Do I have a second?
Okay, you got a second?
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion, questions, concerns? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Abstaining. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Don't have a question, sorry. Since we're carrying kind of a hefty balance in the general fund, have we looked at, any, like last year's, unused money, like taking any more out to invest, or is what we're getting in money market equivalent or close to what we're getting in?
As soon as I get the new rates from Middletown Valley, which I'm supposed to get them any day now, then I'm gonna make another recommendation.
Okay.
So yeah, we got plenty to move. Thank you.
Last time, I didn't do anything about that. We were actually making more in the money market than the CDs are now.
Okay, okay, that's, as long as we're doing
Yeah,
Yep.
the best we can.
we're paying attention. for
Okay,
sure.
perfect.
Good. Is there anybody signed up on the guest sheet?
No, sir.
Before we go on to guests, I see we have 2 young men sitting in the audience. Would you 2 gentlemen like to please, or one of you, stand up and introduce yourself? Tell us what troop you're with.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zeke Fong, and I come from 251 of Sharpsburg, Maryland.
Hey, you're coming to Boonesborough town meeting instead of Sharpsburg? I think that's on the name.
Eagle badge?
No, I'm here for a prerequisite for the merit badge citizenship in the community.
Okay, well, thank you, welcome.
We have better
Do
meetings
do
in
you
Sharpsburg.
you want to tell us anything special about your troop, what you all are doing, or anything like that? Don't be bashful, we don't bite.
Recently, we've been planning out what we're doing for this year, and actually, we've been planning on going to a different summer camp than we usually go to.
They still do Cinepopy, or what do they do?
We usually do Cinepopy.
Doing something different?
What? I was in called Camp Bobby.
Cinepopy getting kind of worn out.
Yeah.
I think it's also because we merged councils as well, so we're part of the Shenandoah Council.
Oh, so Mission Distance and Shenandoah were.
Well, welcome, and I hope you learned something tonight. If you got any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to ask. We'll try to answer them for you. And good luck to you. Glad to see Scout stuff take interest in town business. Thank you.
We kind of wish you were a Girl Scout and you brought us cookies tonight.
Oh,
That was perfect.
Okay, we have a guest tonight, Richard Keysucker to update us on the National Road Museum project. Dick, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, thank you. I didn't know you had all this, things or.
Oh, we're getting up in the world.
Yeah, let's put it up on the screen. Oh, you got it. You have a copy. All right. I got my readers. I'm good.
Big enough? Okay. All right, well, like to thank you all. We're doing the emergency full year. You're good. Oh, good, okay.
He might bite.
Chair, all yours. Okay, well, thank you all for the time tonight. I certainly appreciate it. And really appreciate the support that the council given us. And what I wanted to do tonight is just give you a quick update on some of the things that we're doing. And it looks as if we're really following the plan, that we submitted, 2 months ago, or last time I was here. And the bathroom updates, and this is what I pass out, and working with Jared on this. And we had the existing and the proposed. I had another proposed before. However, I found out that we didn't have enough room on the previous one to follow code. On it, the new one, the proposed, there's 2 toilets less than we had on the other one. So we have 2 handicaps. We have a men's and a women's. There's 3 toilets you see there between the men and the girl. So we think this is a good number of bathrooms and toilets that could accommodate buses, that accommodate large groups and everything. So we're gonna, okay, we're gonna get with Jared on everything. We're gonna go ahead with this particular plan. Anybody has any questions about the plan, let us know. I appreciate it.
Is your pressure okay there now? The water pressure?
Well, we're going to use the same type of quick flush that you have here. Greg had introduced me to that and said that they've had no problems here at Town Hall with the toilets with the quick flush. So that's what we're going to be using in each one of ours. Okay. We did have a meeting with the Boonesboro EDC for the Boonesboro Visitor Center. It did go very well. I don't have a lot of plans right now to tell you. We know where the space is going to be, and we know all the items and everything that we're going to address. And it's going to look very, very good when we get finished. And hopefully, in about 2 months, maybe I can give you a sketch of what things are going to be like there for the center. And certainly appreciate that. We did receive a grant for a management plan and donor software. That was, we got that a couple months ago, and we're working on that. We're going to hire a management firm and to give us a plan so that when we do open, we have a plan, organization plan, management plan. We know what direction we're going into and what things should be. Also, the donor software, we keep all of our, of course, donors together. We'll be able to see who gave what, how much, and that sort of thing. So that's coming along now. There's other paths that we're working on, just to let you know. We're working on soliciting costs for upgrading the electrical system there, painting the walls and ceiling, and also the drywall repair, replacement of the carpet, the signage, and things like that. So it all takes a lot of time and effort and of trying to get bids and get people in for small jobs. We're also, according to our plan, we're beginning to look to search for volunteers for both the National Road Museum and the Winsboro Trolley Museum, which is open on occasionally. They have visitors that will come in, and I think we're, Ruben, that's twice a month starting in January.
Twice a month plus several town events,
Yeah.
starting in April.
So we have a town event, the trolley station will be open, and then we will have somebody at the museum also.
Oh, March 8th, yeah.
And the trolley station will start their open season at the Spring Jubilee. We're going to coincide that, April 27th, the town's Jubilee here. And also at the same time, we're going to have an open house down there for fundraising and let people know so the public can learn more about, the museum project here. Now, there is one thing I'd like to discuss with you. Our HVAC system is failing. It's 14 years old. We've put 2 motherboards in, control boards, in the last 2 years. We got a verbal cost and of $18,000 to replace the system, outside system we have. There is an MHAA grant that we can apply for. However, it's a matching grant, which means a $9,000 match, for the $18,000. And we'd like to ask the mayor and council for the consideration of doing the match for the HVAC system. We don't need the money right now. If it's decided that, you will or can help us on this, the only thing I would need by March 1st would be a letter of commitment from the town.
Did you get your verbal funds?
I got that one from MS Johnson. I know there's others around, but that's the one that was doing the repair. So if we asked them verbally, but the fee to do that. And of course, we're a little concerned too, because once we get the exhibits in there and our HVAC system fails, it's not going to be good for the exhibits that we have there. And especially for the things that we have on display. So,
Well, the grant that you spoke about, you said it was a 50-50 match.
yes.
Is it up to 18,000? Is that? Because I lost
Oh,
you there.
okay, I'm sorry. No, I don't know I'm going to get applied for it.
Okay,
And you apply for the amount of money that you need. And then the grantors, which is MHAA, will give you 50%, but you have to match the 50%.
yeah, I understand that, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was a limit to how much they would match on the 50-50. I was like, what if it costs 25,000? They're gonna give you 12.5?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no ceiling on the amount?
100,000.
Okay, that
There's
would be
no-
50-50.
Yeah, at 50/50, yeah.
And what does the commitment letter have to do with on March the 1st?
Well,
We're good. We'll go half. We'll match the amount.
the commitment letter, when you apply for the grant, and they'll say, where is the match coming from?
Okay.
And if you don't have the money right then and there, a commitment letter will suffice for that. They do that.
Do you have your half? We have that trouble here all the time.
I'm asking you for the half. We don't have that.
Great. Is that a reasonable price for that unit?
Is it just the mini splits or is it the big unit outside too?
Oh, it's a big unit outside.
It's not the mini splits.
Oh, no, it's not that.
No, yeah, that's not bad.
Not That's,
very reasonable.
We're in the range.
All right.
yeah.
Are you gonna get any other prices?
Oh, yes, yes, I am.
Oh, so you're going to put it out for bid?
Yeah, oh, yes, we're gonna put it out for bid. But right now, that is the, what do you say? going price.
I got you.
Yeah.
You're gonna put
It
that-
could be a little less, could be a little more, but that's the approximate figure, for that.
So when you select someone, you have to let us know what the final price is.
Oh, yeah.
Like a letter from us saying, we commit to X thousand dollars.
We're just gonna do a letter committing to match.
Right.
Yeah, just for the
The
match.
letter's not gonna have a dollar. on it.
It's got to, it's got to be in by a certain date.
I have to get that in by March 1st.
So,
Consider.
I know that the Heritage Museum qualifies, like expenditures go under, can be, hotel motel can be used for that.
Right,
Yes.
I don't know about excise tax.
I don't either.
Like I'm trying, you know what I mean? Again, I don't know if we have any unused hotel motel from last year. We didn't.
We don't have that.
through this time. Yeah, you know,
Drew, do you know anything about that? Can the excise tax be used toward that?
looking what we have in the
No, I'd have to
restricted
find
fund,
out.
and able to use.
But we can use hotel motel.
Right, but I mean, we budgeted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where we have money to budget.
Well, also, when are these applications?
They're ordered in July.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going into next.
It'd be a next.
Right, I mean, if this- are we willing to commit that we're gonna put that in the budget next year, or do we need to fund it now? So
My next question was, what are we gonna put in this year, next year? It sounds like next
That
year.
would be next.
Well, yeah, it will be in next year's, but we can, if we have it this year, we can cut that in half. We have It's something we have to think about, but I think for now, just approving the match letter to get that in there, because if they are awarded, I mean, that is, it is something that, yeah, I mean, it's a big match, but also this letter is not buying us in.
And it's about 25 hours of work for the grant itself to complete it and get in.
Keep track of that. They will take 25%. It's a in-kind match.
Well, okay.
So it's not, it doesn't all be cash. I think it's 75 or 80%.
The, when they do the points now, cash is king, and you get the most points with that, because you'll be in competition with,
I'm sure you do that, but all I'm saying is if you know it's $18,000 and but you can put on a match going above and beyond what that 50% match is with it. So
oh,
you're actually not losing points, but your on match is actually.
oh, that's true. Okay.
Do I have a motion to give the National Road Museum letter of intent?
I'll make it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Put her out.
All right.
Put her out for bid.
Well, thank you very much. I certainly appreciate that and your help. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
thank you.
Is this final? Is this the final drawing?
Yes, yes, I put all the changes in there. And it's up to everything for code.
You saw that stuff.
All right. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Public Works, great. Floor is yours, sir.
Just call me.
Okay, everything with the sewer collection side's been good, nice and quiet. The water distribution side, we installed 550 feet of water line over to the Breeze Garden. So that's ready to go. We put all the benches together. Yeah, 550.
I saw
The closest place that you come from, the actual dumping iron was over at the police department. Park Drive has old galvanized, which is in our lane car rack, which has to take it out.
Right.
I couldn't tap into there. Took us about 2 days to wait, we got it all done.
Thanks for doing that.
Public works side, we're doing all of our annual maintenance, of all of our big equipment right now. We're rehabbing all the old picnic tables out at the park that the kids destroyed this summer. Till the rainy days, really, we had any days raining, we just yank those picnic tables up there, replacing the boards and get them all fixed.
Ready for the snow tonight?
Yeah, we put our plows on, so
That's
that's good.
good. Way to go, way to think ahead. I'll jinx it, won't snow.
Great, but how are you guys doing with water? I think you've installed them all.
We installed them all, yeah, we'll have to get another count. Get some more.
Okay. All right, we need to get them water.
I'll bring it up at the BMUC.
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for Greg?
Salt and sand, we have used very little at this point.
We used 90 tons so far. We haven't bought salt, this will be the third year. So this coming fiscal year, we'll have to put it back in budget. But we'll run out next year.
Make sure it comes to Boonesboro, Maryland and not Boone, North Carolina.
Yes. I'm glad you
Oh
brought that.
my God, that was right. I remember that.
We have enough to make it through the rest of the year.
That brings us around.
Yes.
Okay.
Water and sewer, Pete?
Water side was doing pretty good. I did have to replace, the wall mount sleeves for the gallons per minute until it closed and Boonesboro water plant, they went bad. For the well, we are still waiting on test results from the lab, which is, I don't understand why it's taking so long. It's never took this long before. Other than that, everything else on the water side is running nice and smooth right now. Sewer side, knock on wood. Sewer side, everything's running smooth, but we did have some problem with the generator at the sewer plant. The water pumps went bad on it, so it's gonna cost us a little over 24,000 to replace them. You guys out there working on the upgrade for the press, was drilling through the wall there yesterday and hit a conduits in the wall and took some electric out, so they're replacing it though. They gotta take care of it, so.
Quick question on that.
They were actually
Real
conduit.
quick, sorry, before you move on, quick question on that. Did he reach out to you about that change order?
Which one?
To move the pipe? You and I briefly talked about it, and he emailed me. I said, well, did you talk to Pete about it? Because I didn't get any emails that had you.
I have not seen anything.
Can you give some time to talk to me in the morning?
You're talking about the line we put in by the digesters?
I don't know if it's the same one or not, I can't.
No, I think what you're talking about, that's another one that's got to do with the conduit lines for electrical.
That's what I'm thinking, it's two different ones,
Yeah,
yeah,
there is a different one.
okay.
So.
Can we talk about that tomorrow?
We do have, the line that they put in for the digesters. We can't get number two to pump out to be able to get it out of there. So for some reason, either the line crushed or the way they reran it, they got called and they will not allow us to pump anything out of
Is
there.
that the one where they did the 90-degree?
Yes, the 245s where they took it down because they wouldn't back up. We can't do that. I didn't really get it that one. So we get to see it one here at the time on vacation at the time. But other than that, everything else is working nice and smooth like that. We're really good. So I'll wait to on my thing, go with the generator. And
We approved and sent that check.
he's already done that the parts ordered. Just like the parts get here and then here as soon as he can get them replaced. So make sure we don't have any loss of power and not have that kind of trouble. So.
I assume somebody's took into account that the generator will be able to power, like, was there added electrical with the wood press?
Yeah, all that's what considered. That's a huge generator. It's way sufficient for that plant. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good to go. Once again, know what we have. Yeah, we're gonna need that.
They're still on schedule.
What's that?
They're still on schedule.
Still on schedule.
Well, the new schedule.
We got all the
They
concrete.
requested 120 days for their change.
Yeah, I think that was more or less just to cover the parts.
I agree.
Something happens.
So I agree, I don't think we're gonna take that for 120.
But you never know, that's like yesterday when they drove through the wall, I did conduit, that caused a big problem, so it took them a couple days to fix it, so. We're actually still working on one part of it, but we should have it all there by the month.
So we're probably into April, June.
Well, the way they do it,
Technically,
technically, all the
that's-
concrete and the buildings are pretty much done, they're just finished hooking up the press now. And then once you get all this electrical stuff done,
I couldn't get in there the other day. I drove down, and you weren't there, and the guys had everything.
I think our last progress meeting, he said April still. Yeah. But then they requested, the request technically goes into June.
Okay.
So, I think they're just like Pete was saying, I think they're just
See
kind
what
of.
happens. We'll see why.
It's moving on pretty good out there. We got all the concrete, everything going, it's all done. All the structure of the buildings are done. And we're moving on, so good, good.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you, sir. Town planner.
We go to the planners report, before the end of tonight's meeting, can I make a copy of what they handed out? Because I need to do a picture you can count.
Of the,
Yeah, I know, we were talking about that here. I wrote on mine.
I wrote
I didn't write it on mine.
Chief,
Chief doesn't.
Thank you. That's the process we're following,
Yes,
right?
it is.
It may not change anything, but we look, it goes to the DMUC, comes back, everybody knows what's going on, right? All right, planning report.
This would have been on your desk, Mark. This is the first I've seen a new update.
So, again, I won't read my reports to you, they're here, comprehensive plan, we met with the EDC, we met with, oh, I'm still on your phone, Eric, I apologize.
Yeah, I know.
EDC, the park boards, I have a meeting scheduled with the Lions Club, Wednesday evening.
Happy Valentine's Day to you.
I asked her, you sure you want to have some Valentine's issues? Absolutely, I'll be there, okay, no problem, so we're gonna be there, with a little PowerPoint presentation, of course, anybody's welcome, but it's a Lions Club meeting, so just letting you know. Annexations, TT and Cook, remember Flip and TT and K go together, no change. I know that Howard and I have been kicking the fire company and the ambulance company in the rear end, trying to get a response out of them. I have gone back to the developers and said, look, put 3 acres aside and start moving. If you're not gonna get an answer from these guys, I don't know what to do. I sent them a site plan for Middletown, because I could get my hands on it. And it is ambulance, and it is a fire station, and it has bunks and a conference room and weight room, and it has the whole 9 yards, the pull-through bays, all that stuff. That was 3 acres. So they might need more, they might need less. I think the mayor was talking to MJ, was like, we didn't like it.
Well, then,
What were you gonna tell somebody? Tell somebody, we're trying to get this thing to move, so. No real change there, but we're trying to light some fires and get some bodies moved. We did meet with King Road Associates on Friday, February 9th. They came in, we talked to them, had a long conversation. Remember, that purpose of that meeting was to decide if the family is gonna retain ownership of the land, or whether or not they want to just sell it and have somebody else deal with it. We don't know. We gave a lot of positive information, good information on both sides. I'm gonna be writing up a summary for you all to see what that is, because if they want to move forward, if they decide that they don't want to sell it, then we're gonna have to get some direction from the council as to where we go with some of these agreements. Some of these agreements, one big thing that we did talk about with a lot of these annexations, a lot of them were written 15 years ago. Things have changed. It may be prudent to ask to revise them and bring them up current. Maybe not. We're not sure where all this is gonna go. Just kind of, this is where we are right now. So we're waiting to really hear back from Kingsway. So they're deciding whether or not they're gonna keep ownership of the property and move forward or not. So that's kind of where we're at. Major subdivisions preserved at Fox Gap. High Store has requested information to move forward with the building permit. The sediment erosion control plans and stormwater management have expired because of county plans. When I called the county to see if they were expired, I had already called to find out what to do to update them. So that tells me they're moving, they're actually taking action, not telling me something, they're actually doing it. So when they come forward to us, they get ready, they're gonna have to do a public works agreement, letters of credit for the water, and they gotta pay their water sewer connection fee and the building permit fees. That's all coming, but until their plans are approved and updated, we're not gonna see anything. But it does look like they're moving forward. Bonding company negotiations agreement with the town commission public works, no change that I'm aware of. You all may be aware of others, I don't know, but that's all that I have at this time. Fletcher's Grove, both construction plans have been submitted to State Highway. We have a meeting Wednesday morning, Greg and I with Jim Draper. We're meeting monthly to make sure that project stays on track. Infrastructure projects, you kind of got that from Pete and Greg, so I won't spend time on that. not much going on in the zoning world, other than the assistant mayor giving me a laundry list of things to go look at, which I have not gotten to yet, but I will get to. But, so that's what you've got there. I'm also looking into a food truck that's parked on Midlothian Way, permits issued in January. So that's kind of where we're at. If I have any questions, get this.
Anybody have any questions of Drew?
I think you had sent something to us that you wanted us to talk about on a walk for with Mr. McElwee.
Yes, that's an agenda item further on in the agenda, but yes, ma'am, you're 100% accurate.
We had a question from the audience back here.
Yes, sir.
So King Road Associates, if they sell it, new annexation agreement has to go into effect and then,
No.
or does that carry over to the
It
new?
carries over. All successors, heirs, it's that legal term that says whoever buys the land, it comes with these conditions of the agreement.
Mhm.
We check that too.
Well, that would have been a gold ticket out.
Yeah, we were looking for. I don't think.
Okay, thank you, sir. Town manager.
Well, you've heard a lot of the updates on things that have been going on this last month. You know, a lot going on, but we're working well together to get some things done. One thing I do want to update you on though, we were requested by Senator Porterman to provide him some additional information on the current and possible future awards that we've received or hope to receive for our major projects in town. I provided him with that information. My hope in the information I provided to him, and the conversations I had with him, were really to show the need for the 1.5 million that is in the governor's proposal. And that if we can keep that in the budget, we will be good to go on the reservoir project for the trigger and get going. That was my main goal in our conversations with him on that. He did request some other information on these other projects that the state has given us funding for. I'm not really sure why he needed that information, but I provided it anyway. But my main goal in that communication was to show the need for that 1.5 million dollars that is in the budget, and that if we did get it, we have a plan to move forward this year. So I hope it's done. But I just wanted to update you on that. I am working with the state, the Department of General Services, as well as the Department of Housing and Community Development, which is working on another grant with us for both the reservoir and the dewatering press projects. We had to get a lot of information into them pretty quickly because we were behind on some of our application processes for these monies that we were awarded. We have given them everything we need. We could sign a grant agreement and send it into them for the $1 million for the dewatering press. We are now just waiting for that approval and signature till we can draw down. That kind of goes back to what Tony was talking about earlier, with moving some of this money around for the dewatering press, because we are now down to that last 5 bucket. However, that last 5 is enough to finish the project. We just now have to get the actual agreement in and signed and into us so we can draw down on that one. But everything that they need from us is submitted. And I will pretty much reach out to them multiple times a week until we get that, including today. Any questions on that?
Well, you said something there, true, that floated my mind. The 1.5 million that we're requesting from the government, the senator is trying to make sure he understands that we don't get that, we may not be able to move forward this summer with the reservoir project.
I didn't necessarily say it in that way, but I tried to make it clear that with that money, well, I didn't really necessarily say without it, we couldn't, because we obviously need to figure something out regardless. But I did make sure to say that with it, we can.
I just don't, I hate to keep banging this drum all the time, but if we don't have a contract, at least signed this summer, whether we put a shovel around or not, and that ARP money dries up in October, we're gonna look real bad. So we all know that. We just
It won't dry up in October, we just have to have it allocated. I think everybody probably is okay with allocating less than that money. It's either at the-
Well, I think allocating means signing contract.
Yeah, I think it's already.
Assign it to a project, yeah.
Well, I don't
No,
know
I
if
think
that's
you
something.
had to have, yeah.
It's not that simple, but that is the overarching goal.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I think from the reporting point of view and such, it has to be an order.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And trust me when I say, regardless of what money we may or may not get additionally in FY '25, we will be prepared to move forward with that.
Well, I know we're wrong. I just keep throwing that out there.
I understand, I completely
I
understand.
mean, our words of work where it has to be obligated. We can have a plan, but a plan don't mean nothing. It had to be obligated on the
That's correct.
books, as you know.
That's correct.
He just threw us a curve asking us about all this money. We can't figure out why and when his intention is.
Yes, fine.
But, no, please don't.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think we do know why, and I think the way we answered him is the way we needed to answer. I think, so I think we're okay. I just wanted to let everyone know that.
And Rogers obviously involved too.
He was
We
CC
had a
conference.
call on the whole matter. We don't want to upset the apple cart, because we might have one that he's got it in the budget. Thank you, sir. Any questions of Jared? Chief, where is yours?
I'll just read the top part here, and we had 61 calls of service, 158 traffic stops, a criminal arrest, and a DWI arrest. Rest is self-explanatory, the meetings I was attended to, we sent Tom to a training class for a complete traffic stop, and Ed went to a FTO training program, so we have one FTO at the department. We have 2 possible prospects who put in their applications, I'm now doing their background. If everything works out, they're already certified, all we have to do is do the 2-week FTO, and they'll be ready to go. They're already familiar with our reporting system, they're coming from the county. So, and then I had another gentleman come in, who's retiring from another agency, and he's interested. So it's very possible July, we will be full staff. My fingers is crossed, I just keeps the business.
Knock on wood.
Okay, you said this is self-explanatory, but you do have to tell us what Ace Hardware Store
Yeah.
for shoplifting witch.
Well,
Tell us about that.
he had shoplifting case, and we solved it, and we made an arrest. That's what it is.
Shoplifting witch.
We're supposed to be with that.
Oh.
That's called a typo, and Amy girl is witch. and witch-
Somebody-
No,
Somebody was dressed like a witch.
no, witch resulted in.
Is that the first one they came out there?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't had more.
Actually, well, I mean, actually, it wasn't just like screwdriver, they took 2 big impact, drill sets, almost $1,000.
Wow.
But anyway, that guy's been charged and is waiting to come to court.
Wow.
Anybody have any questions of Chief? So the gentleman that came in Friday evening worked out okay?
Yeah, we had to do, he was in early, and I think we must have talked for an hour and a half.
Really?
Chief does a good job.
Yep.
You know him.
Yep, I know.
All right, so that's it.
Thank you, sir. Anybody have any questions of Chief? Okay, Mayor and Council correspondence and updates. Anybody have anything to bring to the council?
The only correspondence I have is from one of the members on the Public Safety Committee that lives in Crestview is concerned about the street needing repaired, potholes, paving. I know at one point in time, we did have a paving schedule, in streets.
We still do. We have one, and Greg and I are working on it. We got it.
So there's
That's
actually,
not.
there's actually 0 potholes in town. There's no potholes anywhere. The roads are spider cracking, they will need to be repaved sooner or later,
Okay.
but they're just like Sycamore, well, Electric Road or any of the other ones.
Like, I'm just bringing sending the correspondence to Phoebe.
The guys actually go around Mary Lee once a month and they fill potholes in. They just did it today, actually.
Okay, I will let him know that.
They missed that big one at the ridge.
Elmcrest, I'm
That's cool.
sorry, Elmcrest. Need it repaired.
Well, on that note, next time you talk to Butchie upstate, ask them about the risers for, on Potomac Street.
They can't.
They can't make,
They come in, and did the one at the square, but they don't make anything that small, you know what I mean? If they put it up a half inch higher, then you're gonna hit it with the snowplow when you go to top of it.
Okay.
So that's why they come in and repair the one at the square, not the one down there on Potomac Street. They do have water valves to repair that still.
So his question concerns the Elmcrest and King Road. The King Road would be county, right?
That's the county, yes. Elmcrest is ours, and that is one of the oldest streets in Crestview. It is fire cracked up. It does need to be overlaid, but it's not potholes or anything. There's nothing to blow your tires. I'll check though, because if it's right there on the corner of Bus and County, I'll look at it for you.
I forwarded you his email.
Okay. I did turn a list into Jared for at least the oil, and we'll put it out there.
Thank you.
Okay. New business, resolution 2024-01, and then fees for connection to the water and wastewater system. Drew gave us a nice presentation at 6:45. We have a public hearing. Didn't have any comments on it other than discussion from us. Do we have a motion to adopt resolution number 2024-01?
Well, we're gonna make that without the usual word connection. So we just have-
Y'all went full circle on that, so whatever you guys want.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it. I have no reason to oppose to change it at this moment. And I'll make a motion that we accept resolution 24-01. 2024, I knew I couldn't do it all. 2024-01 as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the resolution. Do we have any discussions or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, abstained, the motion carries. Okay. I have it signed here for you, Kim. Proposed amendments for subdivision process discussion.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about this already. This is actually getting down to brass tacks, okay? So we're reviewing the town subdivision process in accordance with the land subdivision ordinances adopted by the town. These are the proposed changes. So this is what your current code says. You do a tentative sketch plan, preliminary plat, and a final plat. That's it. That, back in the early days, was probably fine. Now we have water and sewer and electric and cable and Wi-Fi and all these other utilities and all these other things we have to take care of. This is really not that relevant anymore. So one of the things that we have talked about, you've seen this before, is we want to add two elements anytime there is a major subdivision process. Now, I'm talking to you about the subdivision process. This is the legal division of land. Zoning is related, but zoning is a separate issue. So we're going to stay focused on land subdivision. That's creation of new lots, okay? Let's think on those lines. Let's not think about the PTRIO and the site plan. That's a different animal, related, but not the same. So concept plan, optional, not required, but optional. Preliminary plan. The big key is the water and sewer certification. That goes to the BMUC. That means if the planning commission approves a preliminary plan, before it goes any further, it goes to the BMUC to determine how many EDUs it's going to be and to keep count. It's the BMUC's job to keep count. That's their job. It's their job to argue with Keedysville and work all that stuff out. But the BMUC's job is they are the count keepers. That's their job. I'm the staff person, so we're going to work together, but that's their job. They will either issue an approval and a certificate. These are accounted for. Not guaranteed, not guaranteed. We have the capacity right now for the next 3 years. That's all it is.
But now if they pay that deposit, then we,
We're not doing any of that. It's prevailing rates.
okay, but remember how we had, didn't we do a prepayment thing that you paid money
Mm-hmm.
and that secured your,
Yes.
so like if you said, okay, it's accounted for and if you paid, that secured your thing, so it didn't, but it didn't have a time expiration on it too.
Yes. Yes.
Is that still in place?
So that goes completely away.
Okay, so that's gonna go away.
That would go completely
And
away,
this is gonna be-
and that would be it. Right. After the water and sewer certificate, assuming the planning commission reviews it, says, we agree with this, it meets our zoning. Comes to the BMUC, they say, yep, we got the capacity. And the next thing that happens, and this is new, we would want them to do improvement plans. And the reason I say this is in your old process, you have concept plan and preliminary plan. You don't have improvement plans. What happens is the developers take the actual plans that show all the building setback lines and where the sidewalks go and all that, and all utilities all thrown onto one plan, and it's almost impossible to read. If you do the improvement plan, they're solely related to the water, sewer, storm drain, and the utilities of the property, and they become the as-built drawings that go to Public Works for maintaining the system for the future. Craig and Pete could care less about building setbacks. They want to know where the valves are. They want to know where the cleanouts are. They want to know where the junctions are. They're going to want to know that stuff. They could care less about the square footage of a lot. Now, the town cares because of zoning, we care, but that's not his worry. And then those plans become part of the town's records to be able to maintain the system. Once the improvement plans are done, that's where the public works agreements come, cost estimates, all that stuff come. If they do all those things, then they get to the final plat, and that's the goal that they want. They want to legally create different lots of records so they can start selling. Okay, that's the process that we're proposing. There's also within your process, and should be in all processes, minor subdivisions. That's something 5 units or less. And in this particular one, you can put on a 5-unit subdivision, you can put the utility. It's only 5 units, it's not that big of a deal. Somebody that's doing that kind of a small thing doesn't need to go through a huge improvement plan. And these don't happen very often, but again, there's no need for the big process of improvement plan. I also am just showing this a different way so that you can see it. It's just some people like flow charts, some people don't. Big enough?
Eric can't see that far.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
85-inch
a comet trip.
screen and you can't see it.
I tell him, so he wouldn't get a stiff neck.
So the tentative plan will be replaced with a concept plan. The concept plan and preliminary plan is still the same, no different. Now we put in our water and sewer certification. It goes down to our improvement plans. It is about.
He did the best.
Very good.
Go off.
Okay. So,
What would you have done if that new screen wasn't here?
I know. It was all planned. It was all planned. Exactly. So you do have minor subdivisions, and one thing I would suggest adding is addition plats, which your documents don't address. An addition plat is somebody buys a piece of property, there was a property dispute, they're gonna clean it up. They're not creating a new piece of land, they're straightening out property lines. That's not something that you has to have a full set of improvement plans. That's somebody they're not creating a new piece of, they're correcting something that was wrong. And in those areas, so in your existing plans, the minor can go straight from the tentative to a minor, right to final plat.
Okay.
That can happen on the minor. Now, in your new plan, it's the same thing. You can still do a minor, still go straight to final plat, but you also allow the addition plat. That way, if somebody comes in and let's say you have a dispute with your neighbor on a piece of property, you get surveyors out, you figure it all out, you figure your line needs to move back 2 feet.
Or theirs does.
Or theirs does, right? So you're not creating a new lot, you're fixing something, but your code doesn't allow that. So this is what is being proposed. This is what I am suggesting to you. This is not for a vote. This is, once again, this is getting down to the brass tacks. Is this what you want to see? Is this the process you want to follow? You dictate the process that the planning commission follows. You set the rules, they follow the rules. we're gonna change their rules. That's what we're doing. Yes, they have input. They've talked about this. They like this. Yes, they need to see the fuller plan, but remember, you all are the ones that decide the rules that they follow. Okay, so this is a proposed section, and just so that you have it, just in case, this is example only. Here's it out in an example draft form.
Now we can't read that.
Blow it.
Now we're all.
I will send this all to you so that you have a chance to take a look at it and see it, because it is important. But all I wanted to show you is that here it is. You know, you got sketch plan, minor subdivisions, addition plat. This is the kind of wording that you would see. Water and sewer capacity certification, improvement plans approval, approval of the final plat, and then you have guarantees and other things that would all be written into the agreement. So it's an example, okay? I'm not saying it needs to be worded exactly like that, but if you want to see the type of things that you're going to be identifying and things like that, I will send this to you all. But this is the process that we're looking at. This is the process that we're proposing. My question for you all, and something to think about, we do not have to take time this evening's meeting because I know there are a lot of things on the agenda. But my question really for you all is the layout, is the flow chart okay with you? Throw me examples of something that happens that this should catch. Tell me a problem that's happened, or think of, not right now, but think of a problem that's happened that made you, darn it, our process isn't right. And let me see how that fits in here and make sure we're accounting for it. Because I do believe this is going to catch most of the issues. The big one that you all have been talking about time and time again is the disconnect between the Planning Commission and the Utilities Commission. Planning Commission is out issuing taps and telling people they've got taps, and the VMUC is not aware of it. They're now aware of it, and now we're talking, you all as the council are going to put something in place that makes sure that they follow the rules. Remember, no longer is the VMUC its own entity. It's now an advisory board like every other committee you have, which means you set their rules also. And that's really what you're doing here. You're saying, remember, we did the whole EDU. How are we going to calculate the EDU? We're going to calculate it with a fixture unit count. We're going to do all this. I had to go to the BMUC and tell them, are you okay with counting things this way, to be able to come back to you and say, how are we going to do the water and sewer certification? So this has come full circle. Does anybody have concerns, questions? You're not, again, I'm not asking for approval, but think about it. Think about something that's happened in one of your subdivisions that you're like, damn it, that shouldn't have happened. And let's make sure we catch it. So that's my presentation. Next month, I'm going to be asking you to take some action, and do you want to draft an ordinance? Do you want to hold a public meeting? All those kind of things. But again, I want you to have time to see it, digest it, feel comfortable with it, and let me know any comments or concerns you have.
Can you comment now?
Feel free.
You know, I gotta say something. So, I mean, I like what you're doing, good work. And I just wonder about ones that are somewhere midstream now. Does this now apply to them, for example, the ones that are sort of in progress? And my second comment is, I don't see anywhere there where the mayor and council has a say.
In what is subdivided?
Well, yeah.
You don't. You don't. Legally, you do not. You have abdicated that decision-making to your planning commission to make those decisions under the rules that you give them.
Well, I don't think I like that. Is that something that can?
That's state law.
Okay. I mean, I just say again.
So by you mean the state?
Yeah. If you want to do zoning, you had to enact Article 66B of the state code, and they changed it.
Well, I'm no attorney, and I hear what you're saying, but there's just something wrong in my simple mind that you have a commission made up of people, none of them are elected, right? None of them are employees of the town, except for you attending those meetings, and they're approving things that we have no say of.
Well, there's no accountability then either, they're not
Right.
officials. So really,
And I don't know what we do about it.
And are you talking about a lot of things?
I'm talking about Anita sitting there.
Yeah, I know.
Before you say it.
Yeah, there's been a whole lot of like confusion as to how the process works, where people are going to get but I understand what you're saying too. And I guess the only way to do the subdivision thing would be, would you be able to pass an ordinance that subdivisions have to get through?
I think-
the council?
I think that the key to addressing Eric's concern for the
Yeah.
council is that your staff person, I'm employed by you all, work with the planning commission, but I'm employed by you. It's my job to keep you informed. If you see a subdivision, and you don't like something in it, you need to let me know so I can take that back to the council. If you want the hammer, here's the hammer. Legally, the planning commission has no budgetary authority, which means indirectly they can't approve a subdivision that has any public roads that need to be maintained by the town, which is a budgetary impact. That is your legal way back in.
Well, one of the steps there talks about having a public hearing and such.
Mhm.
And we've done that for a place besides me, place up at Anita. And it seems like I've heard before that the planning commission listens to what the people say, but in the end, they have to go by the law and what's on the books.
Mhm.
So they approve stuff anyway, no matter if they have one or 501 people complaining about it.
Well, the only thing that I can tell you, Councilman, that I think is, let us try it for a while and see where the problems are. Let's see if we can't get it fixed. Your question to me directly is, how are we treating everything in the middle right now? I'm assuming it's following this. That's why I asked for this, to do a fixture unit count. That's why I'm going to the BMUC with Dean South with the fixture unit count. Even though it's already been approved, I wanted to go through the exercise to get used to it coming before them each time, because it's gonna be new to them. And they're gonna have some nuances that they're gonna kind of have to figure out and go through. But, I think it's my job that if you all are informed as to what the planning commission is doing, that's my fault.
Well, and I'll go another different place from Anita's case. We've been talking about King Road out here. We've heard 500,000, we've heard 900, we've heard 1,300. And there's no way that stuff should happen without us getting a say.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So, anyway.
And I think what Drew has presented and the way that he has been ever since he's been in our employ is to keep us informed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and I think that's huge, because without that communication, we don't know anything of what we don't know. So by you being as communicated as you are with us and all the other commissions that you need to be involved with, I think it's just gonna be a better working relationship. We might not always agree on everything, but at least we're gonna.
No, I disagreed on a number.
But I think the problem is, and what Eric's concern is with mine too, when you don't have someone that giving you that communication, what was put in for a
Yeah.
stopgap so that we can do that out.
I can only tell you in my previous life, the same problem. And to this day, the planning commission and the town board in Middletown meet once a year. Just to talk about what's going on, and for the elected official, making it clear to the planning commission members whom you appoint.
Right.
Whom you appoint and can remove, fall in line with the wishes of the mayor and council from a comprehensive plan, overall thing, something like that. And, out of those meetings over the years, law changes happen because they're like, well, this doesn't work right. We need to change this. And, that's all part of this process too.
Well, and to your point, I think we have heard what's going on. Drew does a good job. I think I've communicated to you guys, being that I'm the liaison to the planning commission, what's going on. I've been talking about this example with Anita for 6 months or more at
Yeah.
least. So we knew what was going on, but I wasn't sure what we could do about it.
Right,
And it sounds like maybe the answer is you can't do anything about it.
right, because the land was allowed to be subdivided based on the requirements of the law. It was enough land that.
You guys gotta remember, the planning commission's job is to make sure that when somebody comes in with a request, that it's a legal request, that it's something that the town legally has approved. So you can't come in on this place, oh, I'm gonna put 22 houses on this amount of property. Because then you go to the planning commission, they can be, well, no, that's not zoned for that. So you gotta remember that. Now, these agreements that we're talking about, these are separate. These are approved by the council. They're not houses that are gonna go into. the-
Yeah, we got zoning and all, those agreements are approved councils.
Right, so that's a situation where here's the normal rules, but you got this agreement from an annexation that supersedes it. And it does complicate it, absolutely. It absolutely does. And it does, when you got 4 of them going on, it even makes it more complicated.
So some of what happened in the past, some of what's happened current, what's gonna be happening next, are all gonna overlap. We're gonna have some hiccups, but I think we're getting in a
We
better.
gotta start somewhere though.
Yes, I think we're getting into a better place.
Again, I'm not asking for a decision, I'm asking you to think about this process. I will send you the PowerPoint and the Word document so that you have it, take a look at it. And I'm gonna be discussing it with the planning commission and discussing it with the BMUC, just as I've said before. But, we are going to have to at some point adopt something if we want to follow this or something else. I think whatever you do, your existing plan was designed at a time that was a much simpler time, and that is not where we are today. And we want to make sure that we're getting the as-bills to the guys that got to maintain this thing so that it gets maintained. And they're not out there having to figure out where lines are or looking for cleanouts, or getting cameras stuck and, all the other issues that come about. So give it some thought.
No, I agree. I mean, even just having a plan, whether it's perfect or not written, that you can tell people this is what you gotta follow is a big help, because I think that was, we kept getting different mixed signals of how this was gonna work and where it was gonna go and how it was gonna, like.
Good job.
All right, well, I'll be-
Yeah.
Great, yelled at me.
He's not getting these.
He's gonna be out by 3 o'clock. I know Greg will probably get 2:30. Okay, J6 Boulevard, Campus Avenue realignment, memorandum of understanding MOU.
You don't need to blow that up. Yeah. Okay. So again, I'm asking you for something, you're getting a staff report. That's how I work. It's so that when I look back at it, in 2 seconds, I can get a refresher. This is why it was as much for me as it is for you. How should the town of Boonesboro move forward with the land swaps with Mr. Scott McElwee and the new home construction? So in January 2023, the town of Boonesboro executed an MOU with Scott, Washington County Public Schools, the county commissioners to do the land swap. You guys all know this. This is nothing that you don't know. Here's the problem. We're at the point now where we need to do the land swap. I've got the final plats, we're reviewing them. What are we doing with the house? Now, if you read the MOU, which is attached to this piece, there is nothing in there about building him a house. There's compensation for the land, okay? But I have been told by a number of you, as well as Mr. McElwee, he's been told we're gonna build him a house. Okay?
I assumed we were just compensating him and then he would go and get it.
Not when I met with him, that's not what he thinks, and so,
Our
because,
previous town manager told him we were building the house.
well, let me put this. Without Mr. McElwee's cooperation, a huge traffic issue
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
doesn't
No,
get
I think
resolved.
they're gonna fix that.
So, you'll see in my I'm not asking for any recommendation, but I need to sit and talk with Mr. McElwee, what are we doing? My proposal is this, because when you get in the actual, and that's the alignment there you guys see right before, I put a summary in here in case anybody wanted to, update themselves on the history of the project. But when you actually look at this, it just talks about the transfer of land and the cost associated with it, the value of the land. So what I would suggest is that we come to Mr. McElwee and say, we're happy to build you a house. How about we just pay him? You give you the land and give you get it appraised.
Right.
You're paid, you're done. First of all, he doesn't need a house.
Right, build a house, that's, yeah.
That's up to him. The only thing he cared about when I met with him was his shed in the back, which is where he operates his business. That's the only thing he wants built. Maybe he wants the cat, I don't know, but it would make it so much cleaner for us if it's just stroke a check, the land transfers and we move on with our project. If we've got to build in a house, then we're talking about doing different things like, I've got to get an architect and I've got to price $4,000 for an architect to measure the house up and say, okay, this is how you would rebuild it. But I'm
And the
asking.
town will not be in the business of building houses.
I agree.
Have you checked with Draper? Because he was supposed to go in there, him and his contractor, and look at that house.
I have a meeting with him tomorrow morning.
And get measurements and
Or Wednesday.
everything. Yeah, I think it's Wednesday.
Wednesday, I'll ask him.
I'll be there.
I don't believe he believes he has anything to do with McElwee house. That was the last time I talked to him.
The Draper?
Yeah, Draper with the.
His engineer's one that went and said it wasn't fit to move, that it would collapse.
Oh, yeah. You'd have to rebuild it. You'd have to rebuild
And I thought, at one of our meetings, Jared, if you recall, he said he had to get with McElwee and see what he wanted in that, how he wanted it to be built.
He did.
So you might want to.
That went back to a lot of confusion as to what was a handshake and what was an actual written agreement.
Right, we need some-
Unfortunately,
it. The override piece here, I just want to make sure everybody's in agreement. We are not going to piss off Mr. McElwee.
They have to stop, then it's not benefit anybody.
Right. So I will meet with him again and I will make him the offer of a straight cash deal. He may come back and say, well, look, I want you to build my business. And I'll come back with whatever he comes back with. I just want to know what my marching orders are. My marching orders are keep Mr. McElwee happy and find out if we can do just a straight cash deal where we just do an appraisal. Maybe we give him an architectural rendering of the house and all the measurements so he can build it if he wants. You know, that's just free. Here's the little incentive. We'll give you a layout of the house so you can build the exact same house right here, and we'll pay you full price for the land. Thank you very much, and we move on and we build it up.
Yeah, I like structure, similar structures.
Right.
That place as much as it was 3 years ago.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's
But
why we
if we
need to
give him the cash and he's happy with it, what does it matter?
But we have the cash. That's gonna be my first question from McElwee. When you say, we'll pay, we'll get the cash, he'll say, good, how much you get?
Well, we've got.
No, and
It has
I
to
would
be
tell Mr.
appraised.
McElwee is I would tell him this.
That's
You get an appraiser, we get an appraiser. We pay the average of the two.
Right.
How much fairer can you be than that? And the town pays for the appraisal. We'll pay for the appraisal.
We build it, 251's gonna build it.
We're not gonna-
I really don't want to, I've heard enough stories from developers of people that get new houses built and calling back for all kinds of punchless items. I really don't want.
He like an intermediate. That gets us beyond.
Never ending.
I
But
don't know
I
how that
remember.
never even, God,
I don't know.
yeah.
And Mr. McElwee being a businessman and the fact that the house is, I think it's rented, that nobody lives in it. The businessman, he may just want the cash and hold the land and sell it to somebody. I don't know. He may decide, you know, I'm gonna take my business somewhere else. If you're gonna pay me $250,000 for my land, he may say, well, heck, I can go build it. I don't know. I mean, but you can certainly ask the man, not telling him that we're not saying we're not gonna do anything, but how about just a straight cash deal so we can move this deal along? What are your thoughts?
I think that's a nice thought.
Okay, good.
We don't owe him for the land. The land's a swap.
The land's a swap, the house is not.
You mentioned about the property value. I said, we don't care about that.
Well, we have to get an appraisal of the value of the home itself, not the land in it. Correct, you're correct.
Okay, so let's just see if we can just buy him out.
Right.
Be done. We're not gonna build houses.
I have my marching orders. Thank you very much. I'll come back with it.
All right. That might be.
Thank you, Drew.
Sure.
Anything else? Anybody have any other questions, to Drew? Okay. Moving right along, Maryland Local Government Investment.
Sure. I sent this out to you all, I don't know, over a week ago, I'm thinking. And this was something that was given to me based on the fact that we started looking for new sources of how to invest our monies. And if you looked over some of these charts, the amount of money that we can earn. I mean, it's been averaging 5 point something %. This is targeted for municipalities in Maryland. It's ran and overseen by in Maryland. And I just figured it was some other source that I should throw out there so that we can have something else to think about. If you want me to pursue it further, I'll do that. But at this moment, it was just to give you the information so that you can look at it, know that it's safe and it's allowable by what we do with our town funds. And just another avenue that we can put some money in and earn some good rates. So, yeah, questions, or if you want me to do something, say so.
Well, we don't have any CDs coming up too soon, right?
May. I think there's one in May. But this could apply to any money that we currently have that's not invested too, that we're sitting on.
Well, but then that we're sitting on, we're getting pretty good rates in the money. I mean, we don't have any sitting there not making us money.
No, because even what's sitting in the general fund is still earning. And this is through PNC Bank. Well, I guess you all looked at this. I mean, it's through PNC Bank. It's a custody that, you know, that abides by all of our investment rules. Don't everybody talk at once.
Well, I
Y'all
guess
want to think about it a little?
this
Yeah.
kind of like goes with the next item on the agenda, so
What's next on the agenda?
the 3 in
Oh, okay.
1 investment
Okay,
is my thought.
okay.
You know what I mean?
So the MLGIP is the Maryland Local Government Investment Pool, is what it is.
Since we don't hear any comment, I assume those of you want to digest it a little bit more and bring it back.
Well, can we talk about it in conjunction with, like, because we're gonna do the 3 in 1 investment company, I would let them give us recommendations, but if we're not gonna go with them, then, you know what I mean? I would make a motion that we put some money in this other and give it a try.
I think they're both, I mean, similar as far as what they're trying to
Yeah.
accomplish.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of a one-on-one or help type of thing you get with the Maryland.
Like how, it's liquid, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's kind
Yeah, I could put it in today and I can get it out tomorrow.
All of this,
Pardon?
all of these.
No, it's more like a money market at that point where you can put money in and you can take money out. There are no, I didn't really
Because they might be
see,
taking some out for a house.
I know. I didn't see where there were any fees. I mean, like I said, if you want me to look into it deeper, but there wasn't any that I saw.
Yeah, well, let's check into that and make sure there's definitely no fees.
Yeah, minimum investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, next on that, I mean, like Mary Lee was saying, next on the list is just circling back to that investment company that I had brought up, listed sometime last year. I did the questions that were sent to me by Mary Lee, and I believe somebody else had sent some questions as well. So, yeah, might have told me. I did get answered and sent back to everyone. So I just wanted to see if you were able to take a look at those answers, if they suffice, or if you have more, just created more questions, or, you know, just kind of open it back up to questions and comments again.
Yeah, I did look at what you sent around. And I think in light of this other thing, if you maybe get some more information about that, and talk about the differences between the two, and what do we want to do? I mean, I'm thinking in our case, we're pretty darn responsible around here. We don't have a bunch of money sitting around making 0.02% on some checking.
Well, as long as we don't have to write a check until they give us their first preliminary analysis, you know, I would be willing to, you know, I mean, see that they can bring.
Well, we know this one has fees.
Right.
And I don't think this one does. So, I mean, that's gonna be a big deciding factor for me, but let me make sure with the investment pool, if there are any associated fees, and make sure that it's 100% liquid like I read. And I'll bring it back to the workshop and
We'll put both on those workshop.
We can compare and contrast that. So, we'll make it better.
that'll work.
Moving along, Kevin, you ready? Request for proposal auditing firm for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024.
Okay, so we have used all of our renewals. So it's time to put the auditing out for bid. And we are requesting the same thing previously. It's for a 1-year term with the option to extend 4 additional 1-year terms at the sole discretion of the mayor and council. And I'm just asking to put it out for bid with the due date of March 27th.
Do I have a motion to go ahead and put out the auditing firm fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024 bid?
I'll make a motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Those the same.
Fiscal year 2025.
No, it would be for the one that we're currently in right now.
Oh, so we're not under contract for the one that's coming in June?
That we are in right now, we are not under contract.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's the same question.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
We have a motion.
I know how that happened.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those the same, abstain, motion carries.
Right,
Same
so,
thing for sanitation.
well, just 1 second for the auditing thing. So yes, so it would be for ending June 30th, 2024.
Okay.
Is the contract we're,
So
yeah.
it'd be the audit
July
that
1st.
starts July on this year's book.
No, it would be the firm that would be doing this year that we're currently in.
Right.
Yes.
They would start like
Correct,
after the end.
correct.
Okay. Got
They are auditing 2024.
Yes.
Just be expecting the price to be increased. because
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard from other areas, municipalities, how much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the sanitation and recycling contract, same with that. We've reached our term limit with them. We're asking again for the 1-year term with the option to extend 2 additional 1-year terms. And the bids would be received by March 20th.
I have a motion to put out the 2024 mowing service bid.
Recycling,
I'm sorry,
Sanitation, recycling.
Sorry.
make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those the same, abstain, motion carries. Thank you. Hey, I'm slow. Okay, now request for a 2024 mowing service.
Okay, and the same with this one. We reached our term limit with this. This is for a 1-year term with the option to extend 1 additional 1-year term. And the mowing season is from April until November. So we would have to have the bids approved by, what is it, March 1st or March 31st, I guess it is. So asking for bids to be received by March 1st so that we can approve it at the mayor and council meeting.
Do I have a motion to put the mowing service out for 2024?
Motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. on what you'll say.
Okay, one second, water.
Second.
We have a motion and a
Ladies
second.
first.
Any other discussion?
We-
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, abstained, motion carries. We have a request for donation from the Washington County Public Schools for We the People. We're quite proud of our students at Boothborough High School. There have been numerous years that they've competed, went to the national finals, and have won it all. So our students are doing very good on We the People. They're asking for, I can't find it right now.
Yeah, last year,
$35,000.
Yeah.
It takes for a one-day trip to Washington for the competition.
last year we donated $100 to them and we have $480 left in our donation line item.
So, I mean, we always make the standard $100 contribution, so I'll make a motion that we donate the $100. I mean, I wish we could do more, but
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed, the same, abstained, motion carries. We got another one from the Washington County Soil Conservation. Once again, various natural resources agencies within Washington County have combined their efforts to organize and hold our annual Washington County
Envirothon.
So what they're doing, they're asking for sponsors to help sponsor their race this year. We've never have given them in the past. This is the first time we've ever got a request.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever requested from us before.
No. No, there's no dollar amount on here. Our donation would go towards potential contribution provides for the expenses of purchasing t-shirts for the participants. Team awards, lunches, and transportation costs. No dollar amount.
Well, we just heard we have the money in the budget, right?
Make the motion to give them $100.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to give the Washington County Soil Conservation $100 donation towards the event. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Abstain? Motion carries. Public Safety Commission.
Well, when I was giving my report at the workshop, I guess I opened up a can of worms. So we said we were gonna put it on the agenda tonight to discuss. So the chairman did resign. We currently do not have a chairman. The current vice chair is not going to be continuing on the committee. So, yeah.
So it's basically dissolving itself.
Well, I don't know, there's still 4 members plus a fire department liaison and a ambulance company liaison, and me as the council liaison. However, there is no chair. But yeah. As Chief stated, there really isn't any powers, you know, the committee has. It's just
Or a mission.
or a mission.
We're sorry when we didn't have one before, so.
You have mission, you do.
Yeah,
That's not like that.
yeah.
Do we have somebody to do the National Night Out?
Christie said she did.
Oh, I make a motion.
Saying Christie that said she'll never do it again?
That's it. Same thing 4 years in a row? Yes.
She said, Frank Sinatra, she
Never did.
her well.
Oh, okay, all right.
Entire world.
She interested in serving on the commission?
Yeah.
That didn't take
Think
long.
about that one very
So then this is just gonna be the National Night Out Committee.
Which is my
And if
motion.
she
I make a
wants
motion
people to
to
help, she can let us know.
make a motion to suspend the public safety commission. Members that are still involved would be on the National Night Out Committee. You think they
It's worth their while.
Not necessarily, it's up to the.
I don't see anything wrong with you four people continue as you are. You don't
I don't,
really
I
need a
mean,
chairman.
well, somebody has to like do an agenda.
You don't even have enough people to vote. You won't have enough to vote.
Well, there's what, 7 people in the commission?
There's
But you got.
Liaisons.
there's still six, yeah, and not counting
So
the
5.
people.
That's- you
Two,
got 5
well,
people, that's
one
fine.
is not in the town, but they're the liaison with the,
Fire company.
no, he lives in town. Well, fire company liaison lives in town, but the ambulance company liaison doesn't live in town, but I mean, I don't think that matters on the commission, right?
Well, why don't we
I mean-
dissolve the public safety commission and create a national
Well,
night out?
why don't we maybe not use the word dissolve,
suspend.
maybe suspend or,
We'll send it
I
last time,
mean,
yes.
there was suggestions of meeting quarterly. I mean, I don't know, you know, currently I would be acting chair and council liaison, which I know they have problems with that.
And
It's not gonna
secretary.
be in the single-
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't do it all.
And sidewalk and stuff.
but I don't wanna, like,
That's
I mean,
all.
maybe somebody else step forward or,
So if we create this national night out committee,
I mean, National Night Out's just an event.
Right,
and have-
that, but that, we would appoint a director or a chairperson, which would be Christie at this point, and she can recruit and select members as she sees appropriate to aid in the.
On Mary Lee's, if I agree with her, I don't want to see dissolve the committee. I don't have a problem meeting quarterly.
What are they gonna
It's
talk
not-
about?
That's what I'm.
And then,
Well, I mean, I know, like, come on, they're, you know, they've been wanting to, you know, make sure the sidewalks are improved. They've been wanting to make sure they were involved with the,
Well, they've been wanting to do sidewalks since when I was involved.
I know.
12 years.
Is that a public safety commission function? Function. I mean, that would be
That's
more
if somebody works.
public works.
That's Greg and
Yeah.
sidewalk, or Drew.
Yeah.
All fingers are pointing.
In case we build a house.
That he's gonna build.
Done one of those programs too, so. I'll do whatever y'all want to do. I don't have
I mean,
an opinion on whatever y'all.
Use the word suspend until reevaluate in the fall after national night out.
Temporary.
I mean, I did not,
Temporarily disband.
Until more.
I did not get over what
Hiatus.
from
Hiatus.
any of the
A
members
hiatus.
saying they would step up as chair or that they
Sabbatical.
cared and they did not come.
Or you give them one.
She came to say she was resigning.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
right?
that's what Ina came for.
If she was or wasn't.
She
Yes.
was. She had only said she was committing 2 more years and she'd already given that. She just didn't want to tell me during the email.
Do you want to give them an opportunity, to, you know, say, we're gonna dissolve this unless you have a chairperson or come up with some
Suspend.
opportunities? Yeah, suspend.
I gave them that. I mean, I emailed them immediately after the
Yes,
workshop.
you did, you
And I
emailed
gave them a
everybody.
reminder email Sunday or
And you did
Monday.
get a response saying that they would be fine meeting quarterly from
Yes.
someone.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with you meeting quarterly.
Well, who's gonna run it? Because it's like a conflict if she's gonna be whatever. I mean, she's already secretary.
Liaison, secretary.
Well, she might as well just run the whole thing.
Well, let's rename it.
No.
Her commission.
The chair, like, read the last meeting because the chair just resigned and Ina was sick. So
You
it
did
just
such a
kinda.
good job.
You solved all the safety problems.
Let's just do a suspension on it, just suspend it for a while and maybe come up with a new
I mean, maybe,
meeting.
like
or
the chief said,
purpose.
they need a direction or
Yeah.
a goal, and maybe
Yeah.
that's something that council
That,
can.
that committee's been a problem ever since Sheriff's Deputy started that. Way back when.
That's not very nice. We were on that.
So again, my motion is to
Temporarily.
If we did all right with it, we got the right, you know what?
revisit it in the fall.
That's my one motion. Second, just to suspend
Temporarily.
suspend the public safety commission. Any other discussion? We got a second.
Do you think any of the
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Opposed, I don't know what to do with it.
Okay, the motion carries.
My second motion would be to create National Night Out painting committee,
Special list.
special events, special event coordinator, and appoint Christy Weaver as czar. With full authority.
There's something to do.
Full authority to
Right.
recruit as necessary.
National Night Out
Czar, yes.
I asked her at the last meeting,
Uh-oh.
while I was here. I asked if she'd do it, she said yes.
Do we have a
What,
motion?
tonight?
Do we have a second?
Okay, so we should, will she actually do it? You speaking for her? We should probably actually ask her ourselves.
Okay, why don't we table that till?
Table it.
I can, yeah,
To create the commission.
she's on here
January
today.
workshop. And then we can appoint. Okay, appoint Bob. Okay,
Okay, so I guess the public safety committee will not be meeting Thursday.
any other comments from the council?
Drew, are you talking about, yep, okay.
Did you owe them that?
So we had a request from Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church on Main Street in Leesville.
Thank you, chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, chief.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I actually put it on there. She asked, I wonder who's gonna do it, and I put you. She said you're too funny.
You got two
Oh,
choices.
well, that doesn't sound like she
Well,
might.
I asked her the other day, and she said she would do it.
You got two choices, MML or build a house. And that's what I know.
I don't want to build a house.
So I'm gonna do it this way, my exhibit is on my flash drive, so give me a second. Let me pull this up. So Mount Nebo Church, everybody knows where that is, right? Okay. So if we go down, and we look at the church, what they're requesting.
Not Mount Nebo.
Mount Nebo.
This is Trinity Lutheran.
Yeah.
Down the
You
street.
were at the right church, you just called it the wrong denomination.
Ah,
Methodists and Lutherans, you know.
They don't get along.
We are
You would be
loving
creating
people.
more-
so where are we with this?
That's Trinity.
Right there.
64
Right
seconds.
there?
That's it.
Okay. So what they're requesting is they would like to have 2 handicap spots on Main Street for Sundays only. Reasonable request, right? But we all remember Main Street is a state route. And they control everything within their right of way, 100%, no questions asked. But the little dirty little secret is in towns, they stay clear of the parking. You have to get their permission, and they'll give it its blessing, but they don't want to get involved in any of this stuff. So it's kind of a rubber stamp letter, unless you're asking for something ridiculous. But what we would be asking for somewhere in this area here, at the front of the church where they can have access in, that they have the ability to have 2 handicap spots that would be used only on Sundays. And that goes to this image of a sign that shows an example.
What if you got an event going on though? You don't care about that?
Well, there is handicap parking in.
Oh, yeah, we have a
In the
different
lot.
lot.
We do too.
What do you mean, what?
I will tell you, there are no handicap spots on Main Street anywhere in those 3 blocks. There's nothing.
What about they have one in Mount Nebo?
Mount Nebo
And there's a house also.
has a permit.
Yes, we paid Blue Curve and state of
Right.
So there's a permit. Is that what that blue curve is?
The Blue Curve, we paid it state of the
He
sign.
has a handicap permit sign, and that sign number matches her gutter number.
I wondered what that was. I didn't know what that was. So the question becomes, is the council okay with that request? If so, I can send a letter to the state highway requesting the handicap spots. They don't pay for it or anything, but they'll let you designate it. The question is, are you okay with that? If you're okay with that request, we'll send it to the state highway, but they approve it. The council can
Do
approve.
you want us to say Sundays and post the event, like?
They just,
That sign license reserved parking on
is
Sunday.
9 to 12 on Sunday only, 2 spots.
Okay.
So, there you go. Do I have a
So-
motion?
I'll make a motion that we follow through with the state highway.
You really
request.
should,
Oh,
because you're a member.
oh.
I'll make a motion.
Well, technically, I'm in number two then, I just haven't been.
Yeah.
I mean, I have.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a
Eric
second?
second.
Do we have any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same, motion carries.
Abstain.
Two abstations.
Who was my second?
Eric, Eric.
You got blue paint?
Yes, sir. Anything else, sir?
Well, since that was really, can we have you write the letter about liberty where the intersection at 66 and they get to the yard, they don't want on the street, it's just have one parking.
They are in the process, the last meeting that we had with State Highway, they are going to look into that and maybe put a left turn lane there and a right.
A bypass?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. They said,
Well, he called me the other week
Yeah,
and
yeah.
said that he was having a meeting soon.
no, look,
Yeah, we met with
we
Linda.
met with Linda. We went to LaVale, like we're supposed to for our district, and talked to them. And I asked her, I said, one other time we asked for that, and we were denied because of the measurements. She said, well, specs have changed over the years, so they're gonna re-look into that. And while they're looking into that, they're going to also look into the error turn. So trying to get that rectified. They can't technically take it out completely due to the fact it backs up to traffic on Main Street, but they can have it so that when the light turns for the people to walk, nobody can turn. So they can do that.
Yeah, they don't respect that now.
No, they don't. No, they go right on through it. But with a no turn on red sign up, that gives those guys down there authority to yank them over. Okay. Commission reports, Park Board. Rick?
Yeah, we had a meeting on January 24th. Mr. Schumacher was there. The meeting's called to order. Yeah. That's right. November minutes are ready for blah, blah, blah. Old time Christmas was a success. Boy Scout Troop number 20 was helpful, preparing for the event and cleaning up. Our board members discussed purchasing or costumes. Of course, that'll be discussed on a later date. Under new business, at the next meeting, they're going to discuss or decide on possible plans for the entrance of Schaefer Park. Mr. Schumacher suggested that our board be thinking about capital projects we want included in the fiscal year 25 budget. And our tree board, the 2024 Arbor Day celebration is Sunday, April 28th at 1 p.m. at the park. And there was MUCFC 2024 grant to purchase trees for replanting of trees that died from the fall of the 2022 planting, which was all those, but it was the majority of the dogwoods this past summer. And there will also be in spring 2024 virtual tree care series. And then the meeting was adjourned and we joined Mr. Bowen to the town comprehensive plan in the annex. Next meeting is at 28th here at 2100 hours.
What did you mean by discuss entrance to Schaefer Park?
The beautification plan,
Replan,
EDC.
yeah, what did I say? Possible plans, discuss, decide on possible plans for entrance of Schaefer Park.
Plans.
Yes,
Oh, okay, I thought you said plans.
Land,
Okay.
plants, as in, you know,
Yep.
Thank you, Rick. Anybody have any questions of Rick? Hearing none, please, per minutes, please. Tony?
Sure. DNUC last met on January the 17th under old business. We were updated on the wastewater treatment plant sludge press. We heard the press was set, the electric lines were complete, the roofs and trusses, and concrete was coming the following week. And they were on track at that time. They finished in March. Sounds like it changed a little bit after today. Schaefer Park well, still waiting for the water testing. Nothing changed there. Presentation by our town planner on policies and application process, which will be presented to the mayor and council in January, and then back to the BMUC. Reservoir update, the most recent repair seems to be working. Town planner had a meeting scheduled with WRA to complete the plans and submit to MDE, which has happened. Town manager reported that we're still working on our funding gap. Tap fee update, town planner will be presenting new draft resolution, updating the verbiage, happened here tonight. Discussion by the town planner on the north end sewer connection. And we are looking at what we need to do for what's happening currently with the auction house and what has to happen in the not so distant future. Under new business, the Schaefer Park well needs to have a replacement of the pump motor. We also put a request out for an RFP for our annual leak test. That was approved, we put out, I should say. The BMUC project update was reviewed. Under systems report, Superintendent Shoemaker informed that the raw water meters will need to be replaced. Superintendent Huntsberry reported that the most recent rain that we had almost maxed out the sewer lines on Bella Lane, but thank God that didn't happen. All defective water meters have been replaced, and we need to place a new water soon. Town planner gave an update with Chase 6 plans, meeting with State Highway, and the plans are in State Highway's hands waiting for approval. Town manager did make a mention too that there is lots of activity right now in the town with developers. We've had several meetings in the last weeks, and there was an upcoming meeting that was going to be held with the bonding company with the project on the south end of town. We next meet on February the 21st, right here at 6 p.m.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of Tony? Hearing none, planning commission, Eric?
Yes, there's not much I can say since Drew takes all my thunder.
Go on now.
But we met on the 24th of January, and one of the items was the discussion of the joint meeting between the EDC and the park board, which did occur. And Tacoma had some questions relative to the EDC, some good input there. Under new business, we also talked about Chase 6 Boulevard, the land swap, which we talked about here this evening. And there was a draft sediment and erosion control plan discussion. And that was really the entire meeting, nothing else was discussed. And we meet again at the end of this month.
Thank you, sir. Anybody have any questions of Eric? Hearing none, Mary Lee already gave a public.
Yeah, I already gave my report.
Good job. Thank you. EDC, right?
No meeting since December. Next meeting is gonna be on the 28th. There was a networking breakfast at Farmington. Anybody go to that?
Yes, it was very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
We're glad to hear that. Pathfinder Moonshine got authorization and license to serve now, so we'll be doing a formal opening for them, ribbon cutting here in the very near future. Yeah, log cabin, yeah.
Good.
Just for your information, Dave Palmley, planning commission, set up a meeting with me and the individual buying Crawford.
Oh,
It's under contract.
Oh.
Yeah, it's under contract. They want to make it a restaurant. They want to meet with me. They specifically want to talk about. So let's just say this, the word is out.
They're not playing taps with the purchasing.
There, well, we're going to do a fixture unit count. We're going to find out. But by the same token, I do want you all to know that when they said, well, how many EDUs do I have now? I said, you should have 2. And he did. So your whole fixed fee thing went through and, proofs in the pudding. I said, when you own it, come through, I'll do a fixture unit count, the BMUC, and I'll tell you what, you may not need anything, right? May need 5 tabs. Never know. We'll see what you need, but it's planned for a restaurant. That's what they would like to do. They want to actually take it in, like the front of the building in a little bit and make like some outdoor seating over some canopies. The only thing I told them, I said the town doesn't have a problem with that at all. You just have to keep 60 inches of walkway. That's the state requirement because 60 inches. Well, the reason for 60 inches is so 2 wheelchairs can pass simultaneously.
Right.
Because that happens all the time in Greensboro. I see it happen every day.
We have the races too.
We don't have.
We serve hamburgers just for like that.
ADA. It changes to 60.
Well, we don't have that here. Yeah,
This spring, when that opens up.
we'll have to take that. Yeah.
What's on the menu, Drew?
Been a-
Hamburgers?
Hamburgers.
I was gonna say, letter B sandwiches.
Fine dining.
Well, the baby steps, you've got Admiral's a little higher end. You got Brandon if you want to
Yeah,
get a little more. You need some little burgers, something to come in and grab.
Breakfast too.
Like an alien breakfast.
Yeah, talking about breakfast.
Oh, that makes me happy.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I mean, like, you can look at it.
They tell you all of that. They tell you all of that when you're starting. We'll see where they actually end up.
Can you say who they is? Can you say who they is?
I don't remember the individual's name. I know the other partner's last name is Miller. Paul something was his name.
All Hill.
Paul Hill.
Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Danish covered, he owns H.
H. Okay.
Can we hang Crawford's guns and ammo sign back up?
They don't have to
Sold it.
anymore.
It's sold.
I know.
It was the first question I asked, and he said she sold it. I said, are you kidding me?
No.
Told you?
No, but I don't have to. I do know where the sign is
They're
located.
lo-
Are there
they made,
local people though?
They made channel 4 news 1 year. because of that. And they actually had a newscaster come up here and broadcast the Crawford store. Okay. Any other questions of Eric? Or of Ray? Y'all done, Ray?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Environmental Commission, Terry?
Tony and I attended the Zero Waste Workshop on January 17th at the Greensboro Library. It was very informative, very well run. Fall bulk cleanup is scheduled for August 12th. The community garden is scheduled to open April 6th. Thank you for running the water run.
October 12th.
April 6th, what?
You said fall.
It's spring.
Fall bulk cleanup, October 12th.
You said
You said August.
Oh, I did.
That's why
Sorry.
That's why we questioned you.
Yeah, we were concerned.
And,
I will have all my.
Let's go give him a sticker. That's the value. She was there. She was there.
let's see. The pin location in PlugShare needs to be updated because it's inaccurately placing at Schaefer Park Community Center where the charge thing is. So they said that maybe somebody needs to contact
So what I did,
Edison or something, or
so what I did last time was I had to fix the pin for ours back here so I can,
okay.
Do you know how to fix it?
I'm Kim.
She's a jack of all trades. And the Green Fest Swap and Recycle is May 11th. And we have a meeting tomorrow night. That's it.
Anybody have any questions? If they're still on the fly. Okay, now, anybody else have anything to bring up?
The only thing I'll just bring up, I did send you a separate email. I'm not asking for any vote. It's just information. That's a budget for our GIS startup. I gave you all the backup information, budgetary impacts, things like that. Again, I don't bring something to you without you having time to look at it and review it. But we'll be coming back to you asking to approve this. There are budgetary funds for that. You have 20,000 in your GIS planning budget for FY 2024. The Esri software, the 2 laptops, the contract services to get our GIS up and running, and the IT services from Tanner. These are just estimates, for them around $15,000.
We have a surplus towards the heritage match fund for. You gotta find that one in the budget.
Yeah.
So there's no annual cost for that, because it's renewed every year.
There is a service contract that is, and that is usually around about $1,500. And I've asked them to take that number as well. So I can- The GIS, remember I told you WRE did all your water and sewer, so we're gonna have all that water and sewer on that imagery and stuff, so that's what we're gonna try to get, but we're gonna get that for next month. So we can get that to you, get it approved, be able to have GIS up and running.
And then the chair on online commission has been asking about that. Okay.
You have a tab on there, I saw too, about model fee, didn't you?
Not in this one, but yes.
Okay, one of them I thought.
Yes, I sent you a couple, but yes.
You might want to clarify one thing here, I said earlier, I didn't explain it, so back to the national agency, if their quote is 18,000 and we give them 9, when the work is finished, they'll be expected to write a check for 18. Do they have the whole 18? Because they'll have to apply to get their 9 back from that grant. It might be 6 months later to the get it.
Oh, I understand.
That's what I was trying to say. I didn't get it out right. I guess.
Well, they should have some money
They have.
from the fund.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I understand now.
That's what I was trying to.
Anything else to come before the council? Hearing none, and I promise this will only take approximately 10 minutes. I need a motion to go into executive session to discuss the legal matter.
I'll make a motion that we go into an executive session, to discuss legal matters.
I'll second.
So we got a second. Oh, Drew, you can stay for this. You and Jerry.
Hey, Greg.
Thank you all. Good night.
We have a